A non-diabetic cannot imagine the shock a person with diabetes feels when he first hears the news. Are you going through the same right now? Well, it's not even a surprise anymore, as a report from CDC has found out that more than 100 million people in the US are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. Yes, the treatment of diabetes is quite expensive and just relieves the symptoms. But it's not the end of the world for you either. Here is a program called Diabetes Freedom that claims to relieve you of significant diabetes symptoms and even reverse your insulin resistance when you use it right. But with the health programs prevalent these days, we find it hard to believe these promises. Hence, we have decided to review the diabetes program in detail and find the truth behind its claims. Diabetes Freedom Review. Overview of the program. Diabetes Freedom is a 2-month program that aims to help you flush fatty deposits from your body through a regulated diet and exercise. The fatty deposits around your pancreas can aggravate diabetes symptoms caused by high blood sugar levels. The only way to control these symptoms in allopathy is through frequent medications. You also have to skip your favorite desserts, which is extremely difficult for those with a sweet tooth. High sugar levels can also result in poor brain functioning, apart from harming your kidney and liver too. Moreover, diabetes is a precarious position to be in. You have to control insulin constantly apart from regulating glucose levels. Diabetes Freedom contains several video tutorials that help you reduce toxins, improve the functioning of the pancreas, control food cravings, and so on through various natural methods. You would further get to know about a host of power drinks that can lower your sugar intake and boost the adipose tissue, which is essential for type 2 diabetics, as we'll discuss later. Moreover, there are videos dedicated to burning fat through and helping you control your diet. All these little fixes contribute to the bigger goal of relieving you of diabetes symptoms and providing you with a natural way to regulate it. What is Diabetes Freedom? Diabetes Freedom is an online tutorial program that lets you find ways to reduce symptoms of diabetes through natural techniques. The program aims to give its users a natural way to control insulin levels, sugar levels, and so on. The program created by George Riley uses regulation of meal timings, nutrition, and increasing your metabolism to help solve the issue. A diet rich in natural ingredients can significantly reduce fatty deposits around the pancreas. The plan works in 3 steps. A 2-month nutrition plan. 7 brown fat boosting metabolic rules for type 2 diabetics. Tricks to time your meals appropriately. The plan also contains various delicious recipes that are safe to consume for people with diabetes. The video tutorials also have a lot of information about diabetes that helps keep you motivated. Understanding your disease better can indeed solve half the problem. Doctors won't reveal all that diabetes comes with because they also have to sell you expensive medications and charge you for treatments. So, this is a solution that will be much lesser of a burden on your pocket and body and might prove quite useful, especially at the early stages. But we can't believe that the program contains credible content without knowing about the creator. Hence we did a little research on the founder of the program. Who is the creator of Diabetes Freedom? George Riley is neither a renowned doctor nor a nutritionist. You might be surprised as to how he came up with a program that's working for thousands. Well, George is a former type 2 diabetic. His condition was worsening despite taking several medications to relieve his symptoms. It all came to a point at which he got his leg amputated. It was at this time that he sought to find another doctor. And his second doctor revealed a lot of secrets to him. For starters, he found out the list of adverse effects the medications were having on his overall health. He also learned that controlling diabetes is also possible through natural ways free of side effects. You have to determine specific meal timings and consume adequate nutrition to flush fatty deposits, which are the primary cause of diabetic symptoms. George got much better, and his conditions haven't worsened 2 months since he started using the program he created with his doctor. Seeing the world struggling with diabetes, George decided to introduce his program in the market. And since he is a sufferer, he has been giving hefty discounts to ensure that the program reaches as many people as possible. What is included in the Diabetes Freedom program? To be entirely sure of its contents and delivery, I decided to buy the program for a friend. That allowed us to gain complete access to its contents. Well, the first thing I noticed was the quick and step-by-step presentation. It is one of the very few programs that delivers its contents in easy-to-understand videos. As a result, you won't need to spend hours finding the meat of the material. What is even more exciting is that some of the videos are as short and precise as 2 minutes. Well, that might not sound like a good thing, but it is. I have seen tens of programs explaining unnecessary information to you for 40 minutes out of the 45-minute tutorials. What is the point then? In my opinion, a short but crisp note from an expert is enough to understand the message. The program is divided into 3 parts. The 3-step approach focuses on different aspects of the plan, and combining the 3 will complete your 2 months journey the project will take you on. Step 1. The Pancreas Restart Nutrition Plan. The first program of Diabetes Freedom is a 5-video package that discusses the following topics. Breakfast shakes targeting to melt white fat cells. Meals to eat to incinerate fat around pancreas and liver. List of carbs to include so you feel satisfied. Detox teas to melt fat cells and reduce cravings. Spices to take before meals to lower blood sugar by 30%. The contents of this step aim to improve the function of your pancreas, along with the whole body's functioning. It does so by facilitating an influx of certain ingredients and nutrients that kill fat-harboring white fat cells. These white cells block the natural processes inside the body and thus limit the functioning of the pancreas. As the pancreas restores through the meals, the white fat cells will quickly look for a way out. As a result, the blood sugar also comes in control, relieving you of any symptoms because of it. Step 2. The Metabolism Boosting Blueprint. A better metabolism can quicken up the body's functioning, making it absorb nutrients and flush toxins faster. The internal organs also work more efficiently with a better metabolism. Here are the contents of this package. A 2-minute fat-burning routine that comes in a digital format. The workout routine is easy to follow at home. This section majorly focuses on promoting the production of adipose tissues. Brown fat cells are healthier and don't get stored in the body in abundance, unlike fat white cells. The section teaches you various ways to promote the production of adipose and eliminate the excess fat white cells. Killing white is a crucial step towards relief from diabetic symptoms. The video also contains a recipe for power drinks that help lower your sugar intake as well as cravings. Step 3. Strategies to time meals perfectly. In an exciting tutorial, we would learn how to time our meals in the right way to control the glucose levels in our body. That was something we always heard but chose to ignore. Well, research has proven that meal timings can severely affect glucose production in our bodies. Here is what you'll get in this section. There are quick breakfast hacks, tricks that help you to avoid cravings and stay energized throughout the day. There is also a list of snacks and desserts to prepare. Now we all know how challenging it is to control the sugar cravings. But people with diabetes would see the pain of sacrificing carbs. After all, most of us don't even eat one meal without carbs. But here we are trying to limit its intake as much as possible. This section, though, comes as a savior for the diabetic foodies. It lists some delicious recipes from expert chefs that have joined hands with a nutritionist to prepare these. Excitingly, you'll also find some desserts you can have once in a while, which is a relief from those with a sugar tooth. The ingredients in these recipes also contain a host of fat markers that induce the quick burning of fat in the body. Losing weight also goes a long way in keeping your appetite, heart rate, and glucose levels under control. How does diabetes freedom work? The primary cause of type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance caused by a small lipid molecule called mellitus. This little molecule, though, affects your whole body's functioning. It enables toxic white fat cells to flow in the blood. Blood acts as a carrier and takes the fat cells to various vital organs like the heart, pancreas, and liver. The fat cells start sticking to these organs and regenerating on them. As a result, the organs are suffocated, and the arteries begin to stiffen up. Well, now you know why you might have caught diabetes despite not being a big fan of sugar treats. It's actually a lipid molecule that has caused all the fuss. The fat cells then move into the bloodstream and start clogging other vital organs. When this fat reaches the pancreas, it blocks the secretion of insulin, which then causes a rise in sugar levels. Insulin is responsible for breaking down sugar and absorbing glucose from the food we eat. As it stops functioning, sugars start to remain untreated and move directly into the bloodstream, which leads to diabetes. Diabetes freedom works on the root of the symptoms, the toxic fats that clog the pancreas. The foods you consume in the diet will help eliminate these fatty deposits from the pancreas. As a result, the insulin will get back to its proper working, and it would reverse the effects of type 2 diabetes. Moreover, the program suggests recipes that can boost brown fats. Brown fats are healthier and are perhaps essential for our survival. So no matter how much white fat we lose, we would still have enough stored energy. Brown fat also initiates weight loss by encouraging healthy weight loss. The timings of the meals also affect the blood glucose levels, and following the guidelines of this program ensures we eat the food to absorb the right amount of nutrients instead of excess fats and glucose. The diet program also decreases your blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels, ensuring a regulated blood pressure and a good night's sleep. Who should use diabetes freedom? Anyone diagnosed with type 2 diabetes should look into this program. That is irrespective of their gender, age, and whatever. Using natural medications and remedies will always be better for you. Moreover, this guide just contains meal recipes. There's no risk of side effects with this solution. Moreover, people who have been struggling with financial issues after being diagnosed with diabetes must try this program. Just like blood balance formula, it is a natural solution, and the ingredients in these recipes are ones you'd commonly find in your home. Aged people who have the risk of side effects should also try this solution once. At $37, the solution is worth a try, especially when your body isn't ready to consume artificial medicines. Who shouldn't use it? People who haven't had any issues with infrequent glucose levels and those who don't have diabetes need not use this program. The program specifically helps people who are struggling to cope with diabetes. Similarly, breastfeeding and pregnant women should avoid solutions that induce weight loss. These things might be obvious, but you don't must have any confusion regarding these. Diabetes freedom pros and cons. Pros. Research-backed approach. A lot of research has gone behind diabetes freedom. It took several years and testification for George to come up with this solution. He wanted to bring an effective product with the program, and thus he took his own sweet time to introduce it. Multipurpose. The Diabetes Freedom Program isn't just about treating diabetes. Perhaps it's a solution we all should use to protect ourselves from issues like these. It can help you lose excess fat and improve the body's functioning using natural methods. Mobility. The solution comes in tutorial videos so that you can take it anywhere with you. You don't need to remember each piece of advice and recipe. It's just like watching a YouTube video, although it is much more focused and effective. Money-back guarantee. Rarely do online health programs assure anything. They make claims, reason them, sell them to you, and then vanish. But the Diabetes Freedom Program comes with a money-back guarantee that you can avail if it doesn't have visible effects on you. Energy boost. The program helps improve metabolism, and thus recipes are crafted such that they boost the overall energy of the body. It improves your productivity and motivates you to love your life like the old times. Moreover, you will counter your obesity issues just by a change in your diet plan and timings. Cons. Only available on the official website. You'd need an internet connection to get access to the program. You can't get it without proper connectivity, although it is possible to download it after buying it. It might take a considerable time for the program to make its effect because it depends on your readiness. It's no medication that will provide you with instant relief. How to buy diabetes freedom. You can buy the Diabetes Freedom Program from their official website at just $37 by click to the link below this video. The ebook is exclusively available on their official website, and you wouldn't want to get trapped in Amazon products of the same name. It comes with an additional 3 bonus programs, including 33 Power Foods and Fat Burning Blueprint, to go with the comprehensive tutorial. The program also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. But you'd need to use it for at least 45 days before complaining. You can contact their customer service to claim a refund at any time. It doesn't take more than 48 hours to process the refund back into your account, though. Diabetes Freedom Reviews. Final thoughts. You need to understand the concept of insulin resistance to trust this product. Knowing how sticky fat cells prevent the pancreas from working correctly goes a long way in understanding the importance of this program. The program isn't the alternative to doctor-prescribed medicines. But it can certainly relieve you of the symptoms if you apply the tips for a considerable time. If customer reviews are to go by, we are quite pleased with how they have turned out to be. But it can depend on case to case too. so you might not yield the desired effects. But looking at the failing treatments and remedies in the market, it won't be a bad idea to test this one too, especially since it's natural. Visit the link in the description below the video to buy the Diabetes Freedom Program from their official website at just $37.